Hey everyone, this is Sam, and today I'm gonna show you the best long-range build in all of Ghost of Tsushima. Not only are you gonna get the most out of any headshots you can take, you're also at the same time, when you can headshot, you will be just as strong doing body shots against armored enemies where they will also have no answer for you. You're gonna be fully in sync and synergized in everything that has to do with the bow. So if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please share and like, and if you would like to see more Tsushima tutorials, just make sure to subscribe. And if you want to catch up on the previous one, there's a playlist in the description of all the tutorials. So in order for you to pretty much get the best bow build in the game, these are the 6 charms you're going to need. The 2 charm of fortunes, the 2 charm of Yuriko, 1 charm of Izanagi. The 6th one is a flex, you can do what you want, but the key here, what is really happening is, your charms of fortune is doubling the chances of everything. So now you have a 60% chance to poison and an 80% chance to get an arrow back when you do a headshot. And you're gonna complement all of that by wearing the Tadayori's armor. So now you're gonna get longer concentration and your headshots restore 50% of your concentration meter. So what's really happening is when you start a fight, you obviously want to go for headshots first, because what headshots are doing for you is going to refill that concentration meter so you can continuously, safely, and accurately chase for headshots. But not only does it do that, right? Headshots also refill your arrows. You can see I'm getting arrows back at an 80% rate off every headshot. And when you see armored targets, save them for later because you can't headshot them, so you can't keep the concentration meter up. So continue to go for headshots until you can't anymore to get arrows and more concentration. When you see armored targets, go for body shots or kind of like neck shots versus any people who are very armored up. What that's going to do is, because when you go for these kind of body and neck shots, even though they're wearing armor, you're likely going to poison them. And if they're poisoned, they're going to terrify other people who happen to survive your barrage of arrows that are in concentration meter. Anybody who survives a body shot is likely just going to be terrified of the person who actually got poisoned. You can see enemy to the left there, he just drops the sword while running at me because he got terrified by poison from the other guy, and that takes care of the rest. Now, the key to the whole thing is you gotta chase for headshots first, because you have to understand what it does is it refills your arrows, and it also has the possibility of triggering poison. Headshots are huge for you because the fact that they can steal poison, that means they can also terrify other enemies who happen to either survive a body shot or maybe a headshot you miss. Headshots on everybody first, and then body shots next, you'll be fine. And you can see here, I have changed the 6 charm to a divine healing. You can do really whatever you want, but that's just more defensive if you choose to. What this essentially really does, the other 5 charms with the Tadayori armor, is it turns Jin into like a turret. No one is going to be able to get close to you. You will never really have to get into a close range fight versus more than like one enemy. You can pretty much just take care of groups from distance. You can see that enemy is poisoned, and as they rush up to me, I'm still trying to chase headshots to refill my concentration meter. And if they do get close, I can engage if I want. If not, I can go back, give it a little bit of time, chase some more headshots, and you can see my arrows are refueling at an insane rate, 80%. Pretty much I'm gonna get an arrow back almost every time, and because of that I can shoot more. And even when I can't go for headshots, you can see that long range body shot was able to poison that enemy, and it made the big shield guy run away. Essentially, this is really something else. I call this build the Matrix because most of the time you're gonna be fighting in slow motion, just going for headshots, refueling your concentration meter, refueling all your resources, and when you can't go for any more headshots, you would just do these light tap body shots and just take care of... How many enemies was that? Maybe 7? So the footage you've been seeing is on lethal mode, but I'm actually also going to take this build to the final boss fight. So spoiler incoming, so if you don't want to see that, you can stop the video right now. This Matrix build is actually okay for duos because most of the time in any other fight you're not going to get touched, so you're going to go into these duos with full resources, full ghost meter, and when you do see a duo or boss, you can unleash it on all of him, just all of those. And little does he know, this was his destiny later. Headshot after headshot after headshot while getting arrows back at an 80% rate. Too bad we couldn't poison him, but Yeah, you see what we're doing though. So we finish him off in the duo because we just have so much resources. So even on lethal mode, really, if you do it like that where you use ghost meters and maybe like 6 or 7 resolve straight, you're gonna survive most duos by just simply dominating them with like all your special skill and mythic arts. That look really cool. But you see he goes down. And in the final boss fight, this Matrix build had no issue. Getting arrows back at this rate is insane, and just the fact that each one of your arrows has the potential to poison and terrify, and every headshot you take gives back arrows and allows you to stay in slow motion all the time. If you want to be really OP about it, you can start throwing in your ghost weapons. I'm just purposely doing arrows only here to show you the potential of this build. I didn't take out my katana at all versus anybody. And this is the final boss fight, so this is the largest run of enemy you're gonna see in one go, pretty much. So you can see absolutely no issue. My entire concentration meter was filled by that one poison arrow to the head. And remember, every headshot is a poison arrow. That's key. That's what makes it so like devastating. So I hope you guys been enjoying these build tutorials. I'm having a great time making them. I don't know, I got 1 or 2 more builds coming that are very unique and, you know, pretty dominant considering what you like to do. The next one coming up is going to be ore sword fighting, because I know a lot of you guys been asking for a more honorable builds, and I got some. I mean, I started this game fighting pretty honorably, probably up until the end of Act 2. I mean, if you're watching this, you've already finished the game, so like I guess I can talk about it, because like when Taka died, like I didn't care anymore. Like I kind of lost it after that. So that's why you've been seeing these dishonorable builds. Pretty much every single build you've been seeing that's crazily dominant and uniquely, you know, dishonorable. It's just the effects of me going through that Taka trauma, and I kind of changed the entire way I approached the game, and I started doing builds like these. But I do have an honorable endgame sword build that's actually pretty strong. Would I consider it stronger than the dishonorable builds? The dishonorable builds, they're actually not that good at sword fighting, but what they're really good at is, you know, crowd control and just manipulating your other resources to a ridiculous degree. Like just being able to do arrows like this on lethal mode versus the final boss, it's crazy. But the sword build is just as dominant and not just as devastating, but you're gonna be putting yourself at a little bit more risk because you'll be at, you know, face-to-face distance. But I'll likely showcase that probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see how it goes. But very happy with you guys' reaction on these and how much you have enjoyed them, and just the new subscribers and fans I'm getting along the way. So I'm excited to do more RPG tutorials for you guys throughout. Not just Ghost of Tsushima, look out for Valhalla and Cyberpunk and such, and obviously 2K as always. So thanks for coming by, and I'll talk to you guys again.
And another will.